Chapter 7. Pure Competition. Economists group industries into four market structures. Perfect competition is characterized by a large number of sellers, standardized product, and easy entry and exit. Monopolistic competition also has a large number of sellers, easy entry and exit, but a differentiated product. Oligopoly consists of a small number of sellers that sell either a standardized or differentiated product and limited entry. Pure monopoly has only one seller that produces a unique product, and there is no entry. Let's take a closer look at the characteristics of pure competition. Very large numbers of independently acting sellers offer their products in large markets. Standardized product means that firms produce a product that is identical or homogeneous. Firms are price takers, meaning that the firm cannot change the market price, but can only accept it as given and adjust to it. Free entry and exit means that no barriers to entry exist. A purely competitive firm sees its demand as perfectly elastic, which is represented by a horizontal demand curve. Thus, average revenue is equal to price. Total revenue is equal to price times quantity sold, Q. Because the price is constant, marginal revenue, the ratio of change in total revenue to the change in quantity sold, is also equal to price. Graphically, suppose price is constant at $131, the same for any quantity. The demand curve is just a horizontal line at $131. Total revenue, then, is a straight line that slopes up. Both average revenue and marginal revenue are constant and coincide with the horizontal demand curve. A purely competitive firm is a price taker. Thus, it can maximize its economic profit only by adjusting its output. In the short run, the firm can adjust its variable resources to achieve the output level that maximizes profit. In deciding how much to produce, the firm will compare the marginal revenue and marginal cost of each successive unit of output. Firms use the marginal revenue equals marginal cost rule to determine the total output at which economic profit is at a maximum, or losses are at a minimum. Label this output level Q**. The marginal revenue equals marginal cost rule states the following. If producing is preferable to shutting down, the firm should produce any unit of output for which marginal revenue exceeds its marginal cost. If the marginal cost of a unit of output exceeds its marginal revenue, the firm should not produce that unit. In perfect competition, because price is equal to marginal revenue, we can restate this rule as price equals marginal cost. If at the optimum level of output Q** price is higher than the average total cost, the firm will realize an economic profit equal to Q** times the difference between the price and the average total cost. If price is below average total cost but exceeds the minimum of average variable cost, the Q** output level will minimize losses, which will be equal to Q** times the difference between the price and the average total cost, which is negative. If price falls below the minimum average variable cost, the competitive firm will minimize its losses in the short run by shutting down, because the total revenue that it would get from producing is less than the variable costs of production. Consider an example. Suppose fixed cost is $100. Thus, average fixed cost is $100 for 1 unit, $50 per unit for 2 units, etc. Suppose average variable costs are declining until 5 units are produced and are then increasing. We can add average total cost and average variable costs to obtain average total cost. We can also compute marginal costs to be $90 for the first unit, $80 for the second, etc. Suppose, as before, that the price and the marginal revenue are constant at $131. Do you see profit maximization now? It is at the level of production equal to 9. Marginal cost is $130, and marginal revenue is $131. We can verify by computing profits that they reach their maximum at Q equal to 9, $299. Graphically, we can plot average variable cost, average total cost, and marginal cost curves. To them we add a horizontal marginal revenue curve. It intersects the marginal cost curve at the level of output equal to 9. At this level, the price will be $131. The average total cost will be $100. Thus, economic profit will be represented by the area of the green rectangle. 131 minus 100 times 9. Thus, if price is $131, our firm will want to supply 9 units. We can similarly derive the firm's supply at other prices. The higher is the price, the more the firm will want to supply. This schedule shows the quantity a firm will produce at a variety of prices. Note that as prices fall below 100, the firm will make economic loss, but will continue to produce until the loss is higher than 100, fixed cost of producing, in absolute value. We can plot all of these different prices on our graph. At point A, where the price is below average variable cost, the firm will not be producing. The lowest price at which the firm will be producing, a shutdown point, is P2, point B on the graph. The firm makes normal profit at point D, the break-even point, where price is equal to average total cost. If the price is higher, the firm will make economic profit. The short-run supply curve of the firm is just its marginal cost curve that is above the shutdown point, that is, above the average variable cost. The individual supply curves of each of the identical firms in an industry are summed horizontally to get the total market supply curve. Industry equilibrium price and quantity are determined by the intersection of total or market supply and total or market demand. Now consider the long run. We assume that in the long run, in a competitive industry, the only adjustment is the entry or exit of firms. All firms in the industry have identical cost curves, and the industry is a constant cost industry. Then, in the long run, product price will be exactly equal to, and production will occur at, each firm's minimum average total cost. This is because firms seek profit and shun losses, and are free to enter and leave the industry. As firms enter and exit, market supply changes, and equilibrium price adjusts to the long-run equilibrium. We can show long-run equilibrium graphically. Each firm will produce at the minimum of average total cost, at which point price and marginal revenue will be equal to the marginal cost. That price is determined by the market, by the intersection of market demand and market supply. Note that pure competition in the long run is characterized by productive efficiency. That is, price is equal to the minimum average total cost, and allocative efficiency. That is, price is also equal to the marginal cost. In a constant cost industry, resource prices are not affected by the number of firms. Thus, the long-run supply curve is horizontal. In an increasing cost industry, the entry of new firms raises the prices for resources, and thus increases their production costs. Therefore, as the industry expands, it produces a larger output at a higher product price. The result is a long-run supply curve that is upward sloping. In decreasing cost industries, firms experience lower costs as the industry expands. Thus, the long-run supply curve is downward sloping.